Yo, what up, Ben? How we doing? Just get all my live streams going here. Dude, I know, me too. I legit have not even turned on my gaming PC in like a month, at least. Like, it's not like I'm playing at some other time when he's not on. I literally haven't played at all. It's crazy. Cost of the growing business, cost of just life being a little bit busy in the summer, cost of playing golf. Yeah, it's the way it goes. What up, Jay Savage? How we doing? What up, Pelenex? Welcome in. Yeah, business has been growing this year. We're doing pretty well this year. Last year we had some serious like slow times, and that hasn't really happened this year. We definitely had like quiet weeks, but there hasn't been like consecutive months of like really quiet, no sales. So it's pretty great. Definitely enjoying that. And we just sold a couple PCs on Tuesday. So this was the last PC in the queue, but we just sold 2 PCs on Tuesday. So probably Wednesday, Friday next week, based on when parts are arriving, is when we'll be able to start building those other ones. Question about a motherboard? Go for it. Oh, that'd be a nice little build, Jay. All right. What up, MJ? All right, let's talk about today's build. First, we've got a Core Ultra 7. I know we're using an Intel CPU. They asked for it specifically. Core Ultra 7, 265K. I think this is a 20-core processor, if I remember right. It's got a lot of cores. Just oodles and oodles of cores. It's been so long since I've touched an Intel that I don't remember. I think it's 20 cores. Tons of cores. Then we've got 5 terabytes of storage. We've got a 1 terabyte main that's we're gonna put Windows on, and then a 4 terabyte secondary. We've got 64 gigs of RAM, also no RGB. Got a B860 motherboard from MSI, 360 millimeter AIO, 850 watt power supply, and you'll notice there's no GPU here. This guy bought his own GPU already, so he asked for a build without the GPU. So we're gonna be building the PC, and he'll put the GPU in when he gets the PC. Oh, poor guy couldn't put his stupid racist messages on my chat. He's gone now. Yeah, so this is gonna be a nice build. Yeah, but it's gonna be, I mean, it's gonna be really quick. Like, there's no GPU to put in it. There's no RGB, so installing everything should be pretty quick. Yeah, should be fun. I think this is actually the first Core Ultra CPU we've built with, though. Exclamation point specs not working on that, chat. That's cool. Do you have a second account already that you signed in with? What a weirdo. I'm not gonna chill. You chill. Your nonsense. Why do motherboards have VRM like 16 by 110A when CPUs only use about 300? Even with the 9950. Are you talking about like how much power is able to be put through the thing? I'm not sure I totally understand that. He got a 5060 Ti 16 gig. Because that's what he's gonna put in this when he gets it. What up, Ghost? Welcome in. All right, y'all. Let's get to building. It's gonna be a good one today. It's gonna be a quick one today, I think. No GPU to put in. No RGB. Gonna be fast AF. How future-proof is my PC? You have a 5800X3D and a 6950XT. I mean, it's gonna work well for a while, but in terms of future-proofing, not much. There's no newer or better CPUs on the AM4 platform, so you're kind of stuck with what you got there. You're basically gonna need new motherboard, new RAM, new CPU to upgrade that, and then the GPU. I mean, you can always just replace a GPU. So if you have a big enough power supply for the 6950, you should have a big enough power supply for most of the new GPUs too. Sorry, no donations on the PCs here. This one is bought and paid for already. Speed run it? Nah. Wouldn't even have time for most of the people to make it into the stream if I tried to speed run it, you know? Steve Langdon, thank you for coming in with the sub. Mr. Darkness with the sub. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that is. Oh yeah, then like, honestly, like power supply, case, maybe even the CPU cooler if it's new enough to have like the newer mountings, or if you stick with AMD, you basically would just need, you need GPU, CPU, motherboard, RAM, which is a lot of things, but unfortunately, yeah, there's not a great easy upgrade path on that platform anymore. But the 5800X3D is still a great CPU, so I mean, don't feel like you need to upgrade that. You could upgrade your GPU first, and then down the road, if you feel like it, you could do all the rest. What up, Mean Dean? Waiting for the 9600X3D. I mean, it's out, I think, on at Micro Center. Isn't it? I thought it was out already. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't have a Micro Center, so it's not super relevant for me. All right, first Core Ultra CPU going in. Oh wait, hold on, there we go. This is the first Core Ultra PC I've built. Pretty much been doing exclusively AMD for a while. There it is, Core Ultra 7. All right, let's get some SSDs in here. 64 gigs of RAM is probably overkill for most people. It just kind of depends on what you're doing with the system. 4000D airflow, Arctic Liquid Freezer 240. Yeah, you just gotta be careful with the 240. If you go with like a crazy like 16 or 20 core CPU, you're probably going to need a bigger cooler, but for most stuff, 240 is fine. And Arctic makes really good stuff. Overall, out of 10, if you compare it to like the best of what's available today, I would give it like a 6, just because the 6900 XT is getting a bit old these days, and that would be in terms of performance, not in terms of like the component selection. The component selection is really solid. It's just, you know, it's everything gets old at some point, right? The component selection is top tier, like a super good quality motherboard or a super good quality power supply. You know, you've got good quality CPU cooler. You've got a really, I mean, like it was the best CPU in its time. Yeah, like the stuff that you selected is all great. It just, you know, unfortunately with electronics, stuff starts getting old. Give you $10,000 to build a PC for gaming? Do it. Go to my website. Tell me what you want. I can build you an incredible PC. What games are you playing? And is that 360 hertz at 1080p or 1440? All right. Grab those. AM5 came out the next day. Isn't that just so lame? There's always something new coming out though. What games are you playing with that? Gotcha. Yeah, I Rocket League and COD, or Fortnite and stuff definitely. COD, that's pretty impressive. Okay. Wow, this is one giant plastic thing on this heatsink. That's crazy. I enjoy COD too. I mean, that's been my main game. I haven't been playing anything lately because I'm too busy. Too busy. I'd love to game some more. I think when my wife goes out of town in like a week or two, I'll probably do some gaming. Oh, that's right. Okay, the 7600X 3D. Gotcha. Yeah, go like the stream. If he's donated a PC, I'm first in line. Yeah, sorry, there's no PC donations here. Sorry. 14 terabytes? Is that all SSDs or is that hard drives and SSDs mixed? Vamos, you can ask me something. It's fine. Is the Intel Arc B580 worth it? Not really. Because you can get similarly capable GPUs for a similar price that are like more power efficient. Like the 4060 and 5060 are like they're like just as good. At least on an older system. If you have a newer like CPU, that makes a big difference. But if you're rocking an older CPU and hoping for good stuff with the B580, it does not do super well. I made a video on that recently if you want to check it out on my channel. Old man's tech cupboard found a 12 terabyte external. Oh dang. And then 2 terabyte NVMe. That's great. That's what she said. Which AMD makes a 9070. I've heard some rumors that they're looking at a higher end GPU. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. AM6 will be your next PC build. There you go. Well, I'm hoping. I don't want them to switch off of that socket yet. Like, I want them to have a couple more generations in that same socket. Because I have like a 9600X right now. But I would like to, like down the road if I can, keep the same. So I've got like a super high-end motherboard. So I don't really want to get rid of it until I have to. I've got the X670E Crosshair Extreme from ASUS. So I'm probably not going to swap that out until it either dies or if I want to upgrade and it's on the wrong socket. B580 is a good GPU. Sadly, it's priced too high. Yeah, like if you have a modern, good quality CPU, the ARC B580 does well. If you don't, which is kind of like the market that they were kind of going after, and you have an older or like really budget CPU, then it doesn't work super well. And it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of lame. Yeah, exactly, Rishi. That's the one I was like thinking about. So we'll see. We'll see if they do it. My gosh, why is there so much stuff for Intel? AMD mounting is just so much easier. Probably just because you don't need the back plate, but. Okay, let's stick that on. definitely need that. Don't need AMD stuff. Don't need the thermal. Well, keep that bag out. Should need these. One of these should be for LGA 1700. That's 1200. 1700. Okay. And we don't need this either because we're using those. Boom. Okay. Here we go. Just kidding, we do need those. I forgot. We need those to mount the brackets on. Come back. I lied. I do need those. This is an AIO. Intel is going to have... Yeah, I mean, I really like AMD. I've used their GPUs. I had a 6900 XT for a long time, and then I had a 7900 XTX for a while. I really like AMD GPUs and CPUs. Using a i5 6500 and a 1060. Dang. It's getting old. That's like a 10-year-old GPU now, isn't it? Just don't deal with the guy from The Verge. Dude, that's such an infamous video. Yeah, that's what he wanted. He's not planning on doing any overclocking, so the Z model isn't really that important to him. So he wanted to be able to save money on the build, so we went with this B860, which is only it's like under $200. It's a really good deal, and it's from MSI, so the MSI Mag is always a solid option. Great price to performance. Yeah, it's an AIO. I snoozed on an eBay auction and missed the final bid by 1 minute. 5900X with motherboard, cooler, and RAM for $200. That's solid. The RTX 970. I don't think that's a real GPU. GTX 970 or whatever it was. I mean, if that's what you're talking about, it's very old, barely usable. What up, Rytech? How we doing? Yeah, I mean, that's how it works sometimes, Rishi. Like, if you find something for a really good deal, you're like, hey, this is worth it for me. The 9080 XT comes out, I'll probably get that, and then the 98900X 3D. That'll be solid, dude. Yeah, Ryzen 4070, right? What up, Husk? Made it here early, that's right, Chris. Well, it's not a real GPU, so I don't know. I don't know what you're asking for. Are you talking about like the old GTX 970? The one that's like over a decade old at this point? Oh, I just realized this doesn't come with front case fans. We're gonna throw some in there. I've got a bunch of extra case fans back here, so. Do I have any non-RGB ones back here though that we can use? He doesn't want any RGB. That's a good question. Oh, we got a couple of Be Quiet fans we could throw in there. At least one. Come on. Okay. I found 2 NZXT fans. Remember, we're doing this for free, so not the build, but the extra fans we're just throwing in here. He didn't pay for them, so hard to be upset about that, right? 2 free fans. 2 free fans. Okay, got the fans out there. Let's finish getting these panels off. Yo, Right Tech, thank you for that. Is that a squirrel? There we go. Side panel off. Take this front panel off real quick too. Vantex always makes those a little hard to get off. All right, so we're gonna slap a couple of fans in the front. Even though we didn't charge the customer for them, we've got quite a few extra fans laying around, so might as well, right? I gotta take that out, don't I? Okay, there we go. Now we're back. Oh, you got the Founders Edition? Like the AMD one? I can't remember, what do they call it? They call theirs just like a reference card or whatever, right? But those look, I love the look of those. I mean, I love the look of the Nvidia Founders Editions ones too, but. Lee is making the new O11 Dynamic Mini V2. 5 fans, 3 bottom fans are on a 10-degree angle. Interesting. My gosh, that's a lot of freaking zip ties. Look at that. Look at that. It's a ton of zip ties. Oops. Probably didn't need to pour all those out. For a small budget, it's still a decent card. GTX 970, I mean, it's usable. You can probably play a few games on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Play the old pick up all the bolts again. Considering I had the choice of a 3070 or 6950 XT, yeah, that's definitely a better choice for sure. All right, let's get this motherboard bolted in. Might work to upscale your Netflix. One, because you can't see it. Yeah, I can't see that. It's literally, it's like a 1/4 of an inch circle on my screen, and it's feet away from me. Build my PC in like 3 days. If it's hard to build the first one, I mean, it's scary to build your first one. It's not overly hard. It definitely depends on what you got, and hopefully everything fits together properly. Like in terms of like, you know, the AIO you bought fits in your case and all that sort of good stuff. But I've got lots of videos of me building PCs. You might be able to find a live stream of me building one that looks a lot like yours, so you can take a look and get a feel for how it goes together. Fourth gen i5 and a GTX 970. Woo! I mean, I guess the 970 fits well with the CPU you've got, but neither of those are going to do much today. This is interesting that CPU power is actually over here. Very funky. It's the first time I've seen that on one of these motherboards, at least that I can remember. Oh, you got an OLED? I'm jealous. I've heard once you get an OLED, you can never go back. I have not tested the that specific thermal grizzly paste. The Noctua I would say is definitely solid. A go-to for me is Arctic MX6 or the Corsair XTM70. Those are probably the ones I would go to the most. All right, got that. Let's slide you guys over there. Get our case out of the way. And we'll get Lazy Susan up here. And our million zip ties that came with the case. Okay. Feels pretty centered. Let's get our case on here. There we go. We're moving around the right scene in OBS. That's great. Yeah, I bet, man. I want no LED. I want it, but like I've said already in tonight's stream, I game so little that it probably doesn't make any sense for me to do that, unfortunately. Okay. Let's get all this stuff plugged in. HD audio, yep. You're going first. Okay. USB 3. It's gonna go right here. Hi, babe. My wife's in the chat. Everyone be cool. Do you build after getting an order? Pretty much everything is built to order. So most of my builds are all custom. So I will build it after someone orders it. As long as you can play your games, it's a good starting point. That's true. I'm actually building a PC as we speak with a 3600 Ryzen, like a Ryzen 5. The 1070's holding it back. Yeah. How often do I live stream building PCs? Whenever I've got PCs to build, man. Lately, it's been about once or twice a week. Sometimes it picks up and I do, you know, like 3 times a week. But yeah, it all just depends on if I have PCs to build, you know. It's all that matters. All right, so we could run this down here, but I'm kind of tempted. I think we run this up here and use this system fan header like that. So this guy is just gonna get tucked back here like that. Then we'll tighten it in. It's got a little extension on there. Looks kind of funky, but yeah. Okay, all that stuff's plugged in. Let's get these extra case fans that we're adding in. Why are those so dusty? Why are those so dusty? Oh, here's my dust rag. They've probably just been sitting on my shelf for forever. But relax, these are free fans. We'll get them looking nice. And they'll be dusty in a month anyways. And no one will know. There we go. That one's nice and clean now. You would trust PNY over Gigabyte yourself? Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. All right, do I want to mount these on the outside or the inside? I feel like mounting them on the inside, but I think we'll do the outside just so in case he ever gets like a much bigger GPU, he'll have a little extra space, you know? And we'll do here and on top. Did you just let go of Windows 10? Or I've been installing PCs with Windows 11 for a long time. Well, not the right bolt for these? Oh, it is different. Okay. Why are those not going through? Is this like an old fan that I grabbed? I think these are. Hold on, let me find different black fans. I don't like these. My pile of fans is too big over here, you guys. You guys can probably hear me moving all this stuff out of the way. All right, these are new. They're very clean. See? Clean. Clean. And these bolts should be the right size for these. Oh yeah. That's the right size for sure. Answer your question. Does the dog need his meds with dinner? Yes. Okay. All right, that guy is in there. Route him through. Boom. Do the same thing with this guy here. Stay. Stay. Here, do that. Stay. Welcome. Goodbye. This build is gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fans, which honestly with a RTX 5060 Ti is more than enough. Think about pairing a 5700X with a 9060. Yeah, that'd be solid. What up, Ice Draco? How we doing? I mean, personally, unless you already have this, like all the rest of the stuff, I wouldn't build an AM4 PC right now. Like I would go to AM5. Get like a 7500F or something if you really need to, you know, pinch pennies, but AM4, like there's just, you know, it's getting older and you're never going to be able to upgrade on it. Let's use my other guy here. Gosh, I can't believe I used to do entire PCs with this little thing before I got my LTT screwdriver. This handle is just so small for tightening down fans. Okay, there we go. So those two fans are in there. Route them in here. Let's see, what do we got for? We've got CPU fan, we got pump fan. We got one system fan there, so I think, unless this guy doesn't reach to the bottom, which I think it will, we'll put this guy here. Like that. It's a little tight. We'll be able to kind of go straight across. And this guy will run further down. Oh, there's a system fan header. Oh, let's do that one here. I was like, there's got to be at least one more system fan header. There we go. Okay, so there, both of those front fans are now connected in. Can get some cable ties in here. Start our cable management journey a little bit. Okay, got one there. Let's see, get some more here. I mean, it's a 5060 Ti, so there's probably only 2 in it, so probably 8. I mean, at that point, you could count the power supply, call it 9. Yeah, exactly. It's not much more expensive to build an AM5 than it would be with a 5600X or 5700X. So personally, at this point, I would just go AM5 and let yourself have an upgradable PC. Yeah, I haven't built an Intel PC in a long time. Yeah, Intel CPU and GPU. Yeah. This one, we don't even have a GPU in here right now. It will eventually, but not by us. Okay. There we go. Well, let's get some power cables out here. Oh, they call it an all Intel build and they use an AMD GPU. Yeah, it's kind of funny now that Intel actually has GPUs. You could do that all together as an Intel. What up, Rob Gaming? What up, Ice Draco? Oh gosh, sorry, Ice Draco. I just realized you put in a bunch of comments in the Twitch chat. It's usually so quiet I forget to look over there. What would you say the hardest part of PC building is? Cable management, 100%. Yeah, a lot of people are not manufacturing DDR4 much anymore, so the prices are actually starting to go up on DDR4 RAM. Like not a ton, but like a 16 gig kit, like a minimum price is like, I don't know, 45 bucks if you want good timings. Yeah, like it was a solid price when it was new, but yeah, AM4 is just not worth the prices anymore. Pat the Main, what's up? Do Intel chips overheat more than AMD? They generally produce more heat. Partially because they have higher wattage capabilities, but also the newer ones have like a ton of cores. So like this one has like 20 cores in it. So, you know, it's just generally gonna have to produce, it's gonna generally produce more heat. All right, CPU. We won't need this PCIe connector. We just need one standard PCIe connector to leave in the case for him. Okay. Yeah, BIOS updates can be pretty scary if you haven't done them before. My mother has an AM4 build I did myself. Used some old parts. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, 56 or 5700X 3D would be super solid on that. This is another one of those builds where we realistically we don't need 2 CPU power cables, but since the motherboard has it and it's a, you know, decently powerful CPU, we're just gonna put them both in there. You know, it doesn't hurt anything. Come on. Line up. Can't see the one on the right. There we go. Here we go. All right. The routing on this case is going to be a little bit different than usual because these CPU power headers are normally over here in this corner. So normally I would run CPU power just right over here and down, but I think based on length, we're going to have to go down this way and in. There we go. It's nice and neat. That part is. I think I'm gonna take that zip tie out and we'll replace it when we get our AIO in here. Okay, motherboard. How much better is DDR5 compared to DDR3 and DDR4? I don't have the exact numbers. I think it's like, I'd have to look at it again. It's a lot though. I mean, DDR3 versus DDR5 is like absurdly different, but I think DDR5 versus DDR4, it's like 30 or something % more bandwidth. Didn't really fit through there well, did it? I think we'll have to go through the other slot. That doesn't look very good. Oh my gosh. Please just come back out. Don't pull that cover off with you. Oh, like half came out. Jeez. What a terrible connector design. Whew. I think with this one, we're just going to go right down and hold it here instead of up here. That curvature might make the cables a little tough to deal with. Okay. Did a new build on AM4. Oh, nice. There we go. Looks nice and clean. Okay. Power supply ready to go in. Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean, just based on the fact that you'll be able to have a modern CPU, just that alone would be totally worth it. But the difference in performance that you'll get with DDR5 versus DDR3 is going to be insane, man. Like, yeah, I don't even know how to describe how much better a PC built on DDR5 would be. I mean, you are going to have to rebuild, like it's going to be a whole new PC. Like you can't really just like keep your old components other than maybe like the case. But I mean, the capability is going to be insanely better. Would have been around $50 more to go the 9600X. Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, like, doing a light upgrade is different than if you built a whole new PC. Alrighty, that is all in there. I don't think we're gonna have anything else coming around down here, so we can manage this guy up a little bit too with our million zip ties. There we go. Nice and cleaned up and out of the way. That one we're never gonna make look perfect, unfortunately. We could maybe go down with it like there, but it's just gonna put some stress on it. Okay. GPU power cable. We're just gonna route this ahead of time and pull it out through here. Like that. Just gonna leave it kind of like that. Okay. AAO. Let's do it. AIO. The motherboard is broken. I can't find one with the same socket anywhere. Yeah, exactly. Might as well just build a whole new PC. Okay. So we got that. Get this out here. All of our bolts. And then let's put our CPU cable 3-to-1 in here. Goes there. Route it back behind this. If I can fit it. Let's just put it there for now, and I can get behind it over here. Cool. I might just like put this like right here if I have the space for it. I think that might look clean. If I can just like zip tie it right there so it stays in place, that might look sick. Yeah, the 9800X3D would definitely destroy the 14600K, that's for sure. No, I don't have any ITX builds in the queue. And in terms of raw performance, if you had like a, a 5090 in there with it so that you can max out the CPU capabilities, I'm pretty sure the 9800X3D does a little bit better than 10%. Okay, let's bring that down. Would you recommend locking SoC for high-speed RAM? Typically, I don't. All I do is enable the Expo or XMP profile and leave it alone. Like, unless you really know what you're doing, I wouldn't really touch anything else. Someone buy your 1050? What are you selling your 1050 for? I mean, your CPU would also get bogged down with a bunch of stuff on your PC too. So that's not really a valid argument, Joker. How much do I earn? Just depends on how expensive the PC is. I make a percentage off of every PC I build. I mean, like, I charge a build fee as a percentage of the cost of the build, so. A lot of variables. I mean, you might be able to get like $500-600 out of that build, Adrex. But it's pretty old hardware at this point, so I wouldn't expect to be able to get much more than what you paid for it. All right, got that. Slap that on. Cool. Put our front panel back on. Oh. Do those fans not fit? I probably should have checked that, huh? Looks pretty unprofessional not checking that. It used to fit on the old Fantex cases, so I never really worried about it. Okay, well, I guess we'll put those on the inside. To be fair, it was kind of a last-minute addition to include those extra fans. The one bummer is, now that now that these cables are wired in, I need to undo these cables a little bit. Because ideally I want to run them through the center there. Unfortunate, to say the least. It's okay. This build was going to be too short anyways. Build was going to be too quick. It's only been 57 minutes and we were basically done, so it's probably for the best. Probably for the best. Oh, forgot I had one there too. All right. If I had planned on putting these fans in here, this mistake wouldn't have happened probably, but it's okay. Okay. So now we gotta put it there. All right. I mean, again, unless you really know what you're doing, I wouldn't touch it. Unless you're very confident in what you're doing with PBO, any sort of overclocking stuff, you're better off leaving it alone. Because you don't want to ruin your computer. You know? Where the heck is this? There we go. There we go. Okay. So I need to shift that radiator backwards a little bit if I can. I can. Since I have to put these on the inside now, I need more space for the radiator. Yeah, I mean, you can do stuff like that, but just keep in mind that it's, you know, you could create some instability, you could cause other issues, not just temperature related, but voltage related type stuff if you mess around with it and you don't know what you're doing. And it's not like you can just get a template online and it work 100% because every CPU capability is different. So unless you're very confident in what you're doing, I wouldn't do it. Not worth frying your CPU over, you know? And that's still pretty tight. Can I bring that over anymore? What was I hitting over here? I don't see why I can't move that further. I don't know what it was hitting to not want to go any further, but I think I can move it further. Yeah, I mean, if you want more out of your thing, just go hire a professional to do it. Oh, this is why I can't go any further, because these guys here were stopping me. There we go. Now we can slide it all the way over. Be super solid. The last time, back on. Okay, Now we got lots of room for our fan up here. Wish I could find a Founders Edition. I want a water-cooled one. I already have one, but it's a template board, so I can't really find a water block for it. Interesting. It's kind of a shame too, because honestly, in my opinion, the Founders Edition boards are like the best looking boards. Like the Founders Edition cards, they're like the best looking cards too. I don't know if I have enough length here now to go down, so I think we're gonna actually use the system fan header on top here. There you go. System fan header there. And this guy's got to go back in here, back up here. Just like that. That one's going to be super clean. That is nice right there. Okay. Why does this have to be bent the wrong way? It looks so clean. Boom. That's nice and clean up there. Pull this a little looser to get it up a little bit like that. Just like that. That's looking really clean, you guys. I might put another cable tie right on these guys here. You took my first place after I took it off you. Oh. Yeah, if you can afford 1080p or 9800X 3D, you shouldn't be playing at 1080p realistically. Like, unless you're playing like competitive CSGO or something, like professional CSGO, something like that, where you just want ridiculously high frames, then there's no point. There's no point in having 1080p monitor with a 9800X 3D. All right, that's looking pretty clean. Let's get our CPU cooler installed finally. Get our big old tub of thermal grease out here. I mean, Joker, what's your source of information here that you've been talking about? Beautiful cable management is a must. It's true. How did I get that much on my fingers somehow? Really all over like 3 of my fingers there. I felt like I was being pretty careful about that. From everywhere. It's not much of a source. I honestly think it looks better without these things. I really do. I mean, that's just because AMD has been destroying Intel in the CPU market for gaming. Like it's unequivocally better. Like for the last year or two. All right. It hasn't always been that way, but it has been that way for a little while now. Okay. And there's one thing of RGB on this build. So we're gonna plug it in, but you can always just turn it off. Ooh, I think I wanna go through the side on that one just because of the daisy chain cable. Okay, here's that. Yeah, I don't know what they've been thinking for the last couple of series. Intel clearly dropped the ball. Like if you want to make workstation CPUs, make some workstation CPUs, and then if you want to also cater to the gaming market, make a separate gaming CPU SKU. They seem to think for some reason that gamers want 1 million efficiency cores, and I don't get it. All right, there's a cable management job. It's pretty nice, if I do say so myself. And yeah, that one cable is gonna drive me nuts though. I don't normally like to use this many zip ties, but I feel like I did such a good job on this cable management. I can't Can't let it go. All right, so there's all that. Can finally put this front panel back on that I forgot about after a while. And then we can put the rear side panel on because that's all done. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gents. That is a fully built, well, as fully built as we can get right now because the customer is providing his own GPU. But there it is. That's a fully built PC, ladies and gents. What do we think about that? Source, trust me, bro. Yeah, overall timings of like the faster, like 7200, 7400 stuff, the overall system latency is basically the same. Now, Intel can benefit from faster timings because they use different gear than AMD, but still. How do you know which cable goes to that certain cable? Lots of experience. I've built, I mean, you can see it in the description of, I guess not on there, but this is PC build number 275. So after a while, you just know. You just know where each one goes. The no ARGB is beautiful. Yeah, the only thing ARGB is there's a tiny little, tiny little strip around here. But he can turn that off or set it to white or whatever. My mic keeps cutting out. Are you sure about that? You sure about that? Yeah. Yeah, Viol, I've built a lot of PCs. Yeah, man, it might be something on your phone or whatever. I don't know. Because it sounds like it's good for other people. You might just try closing and reopening it. Pod cable management. Yeah, dude, we did a good job. Yeah, so as a reminder, we've got Intel Intel Core Ultra 7 265K. I don't think I'll ever get that out of my brain because it was the I series for so long. We've got a 1 terabyte main SSD. We've got a 4 terabyte secondary. 64 gigs of CL30 6000 RAM. We've got an 850 watt power supply, Thermalright 360 AIO, MSI B860 Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard, and then we've got the Fantex XT Pro with a couple of extra fans thrown in there for airflow, and then the customer is going to be putting a 5060 Ti in it when he gets it. So that's the build. First ever power on, here it is. Ooh. So you can see that little tiny strip of RGB on there. That's as close to no RGB on the build as I could get without spending a bunch of extra money. This is literally like $80, maybe even cheaper. This is like $75 for the CPU cooler. 360 millimeter AIO, super good quality from Thermalright. They make incredible stuff. We can just turn that off if he wants. Ads are jump scaring you? Sorry. Gotta make money somehow, you know? Still an i7? Yeah, it's still an i7. Just the Core Ultra 7. I guess technically it's not an i7 anymore, but it's a 7 series, whatever. Arctic is great. They make really good stuff. It's good quality. It's just more expensive than this. And this guy was on a pretty tight budget. CL30 is low latency, making it snappy, more responsive. CL47,000 to 8,000 is faster, but it has higher latency. Exactly. The overall system latency between those different models is the same. Like you can look at like the first, what is it called? First word latency or whatever like that is, and it's all like 8.97 or something like that on most of these kits. TR240 AO with the screen. Oh yeah, those are cool. Oh, you don't like the screen anymore? That's a bummer. All right, folks, that's it. That's all there is to it. PC's built. We got the green light, which means it booted as far as it can boot with nothing plugged into it. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. It's a PC. It's built. If you are interested in a PC, make sure you go over to redneckengineer.com, spelled just like my name here on the stream. If you're on some of the sites, you can find that in the description of the video. We've got our custom build form if you want something bespoke to you and bespoke to your budget. We've also got pre-builts on the website that you can just add to cart, check out, and buy it. There is a firm available, so through Shop Pay, so that's financing available on the website. If you buy a PC there, you can do it with payments, assuming you qualify with your credit score and all that good stuff. But yeah, appreciate you all hanging out, chatting, discussing, maybe even arguing, but it's all great. We enjoy it. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate all the follows, the likes, subscriptions. Make sure you go check out some of my YouTube videos. No rental program. Yeah, go follow me on some socials and hang out and chat. All right, y'all. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you chatting. We will see you on the next one. Next build is going to be sometime next week. I don't know if it's going to be Wednesday or Friday. If it's going to be Monday or Wednesday, it just kind of depends on when parts arrive for these other two builds. So yeah, until then, see you next time. Intro music. Okay, bye. Bye. See you, degenerate. Later, MJ.